But you can't keep doing this to yourself. She's moved on. Meanwhile, you're out there just walking the streets at night, alone, in a river of darkness.
That's better. What is going on tonight? Welcome, welcome. Yes, sir. My hair's wet again. Turn on this music here. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Welcome back to Shark Week. Okay, it's Shark Week. Let's go. That's why my hair's wet, actually, because we be banking in the ocean and things. Welcome, everybody. Who do we got in the chat today? Let's read out the names. We got TX Revo. Thank you for the first time chat. We appreciate you. Sunlit Trading. Welcome to the stream. 40 minutes early. Sheesh. Cousin Eddie. Whiskey Ginger. Deb. Welcome back. Cat on the line. Welcome back, Cat. It's been a minute. Leo. What's going on, Leo? Chair Kitty. Represent the honey hot pizza forever, my guy. It lives on with us. What else we got in here? We got Revolver Ram, Trev. How you doing? Welcome back. Lena, I see you. Okay. Rosemary Foo. Yes, sir. How are you? Blaze Beast, Reckless DVR. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Get settled. Nice sweater. Thank you, Chair Kitty. Do you like? Fancy, right? What's going on, Ticos? How you doing? 69 in the chat. What is that? What? Hey, wait a minute. Are you, no. Hundo late night equals beer and weed time. Too many red trades this week. Ticos, time for whiskey. Okay, grab a drink, get cozy. That's right, Cat. Oh, there were 69 people. Oh. Right. Right. Okay, Dev. Okay. When marbles. That's going to be at the end. Actually, we're doing a giveaway today. But before we get into that, let me get SharkTrader on. Dude, this hair is giving me like Harry Potter vibes. Like the lightning bolt. Matches the glasses, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Up on the screen here is SharkTrader. All right. You're a wizard 100. This is SharkTrader. Go ahead, give him a follow. Alrighty. He's a legendary options trader. And we're going to get him up on the call right now. Let me switch to intermission. And I'm going to pull him up. Now you can just hear my voice. Let me turn on the music. Get settled, guys. Get out those notepads. Get out those pens. Because we're about to get into it with SharkTrader. He loves the intro music. Thank you, Mr. Shark. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me hit you with that call. Oh, yeah. That's what we'll do. So we'll actually start a video call. And I will do... yeah, so I'm going to actually have to... I'm going to set this up in a sec. Hey, Mr. Shark. Can you hear me?
What's going on?
Hey, what's up? Sorry, my video's being used by the stream, so I'm going to transfer it over to Discord. One quick second. Just going to do one of these. There we go. All right. Okay, now my video should pop up. There we go. Okay. Now, how do I make myself bigger on my end? There. Let's go. All right. We're good now. What's going on? Welcome, sir.
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, man. I'm definitely feeling the Harry Potter vibes, you know, with the hair today.
That wasn't...
You know,
wasn't the plan, but it kind of... Yeah. I noticed that after I booted up the camera, so it's too late.
No, it's like a Harry Potter that you would meet at a rave, you know, with the glasses. You know, all we need is some glow sticks and we're good to go.
That's right. How's it going, man? How's your week been and everything?
It's going well. You know, market's a little slowed down a little bit and seeing some kind of another little shift in the market. I've been kind of day trading a little less, but I can't complain. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you wake up, you're healthy, you know. That's what's important. So, but yeah, can't complain overall.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
No, it's been a solid week. I mean, I've been working a lot, doing lots of 12-hour shifts. So just been kind of when I work, when trading from work, I like to just trade the QQQ. That's just like my go-to.
Oh, there you go.
So
yeah,
I just been kind of trying to scalp that up and down. But yeah, so decent week so far. Hopefully the rest is good.
That's cool. Yeah, especially I mean I think it's definitely can be very useful to you know if you trade the same thing and you really get to know how it moves and its personality. You know, it can be a very beneficial thing, especially if you're at work or you're not at your workstation. You know, at a desk where you can really get a good view of everything. Yeah, I think that's pretty helpful.
Yeah, 100%. And so, yeah, just to have something I can kind of go to as like a last resort is nice. But let's get into a bit about your story, man. So tell us, it was kind of how we start these things, but dive into kind of, we'd love to hear about how you found trading and how you developed your style after you found trading.
Sure. Well, it's actually kind of a random story. I come from more of like I was a musician. Well, I still am, but like musician background and stuff like that. So I never, and I guess you know when you're in the arts and stuff, basically that means you're going to be poor, you know, more or less. So I never really cared about money too much. And was broke for a lot of my life, and then I was working as a logistics manager, a purchasing manager at this small company, and someone from the front, a different department, came to the back where I was, and was like, "Oh man, you know, you really check out trading. I just made $300 on it was some penny stock at DPW or something, you know."
Yeah.
And you know, and I kind of was just like, oh, you know, what is this BS? You know, he was showing me his Robinhood. You know, this was back in early 2017. But then, you know, I think I had a long day at work, and I always kind of in the back of my mind, regardless of being a kind of, you know, a musician, I always kind of had a feeling or that I wasn't getting paid. Like my time was worth more than a company was willing to pay me for.
Right.
So I always kind of, you know, had that mindset, a little bit in my head. I just didn't know the vessel or the avenue, to kind of see that through. So then I remember it was one day kind of, it was getting into winter. I remember it was actually cold out, and I thought to myself, like, I'm gonna get a whiskey here. There was a bar like right down the street from my office, so I just decided to stop there real quick for a drink, and then I YouTubed. I was like, okay, I don't know what really came into my mind to look it up, but I YouTubed, penny stock trading or day trading or something like this.
Right.
And and then yeah, I started seeing, all the usual suspects as far as who you see on Twitter, Tim Sykes and everybody, it's
Yeah.
like, everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
And and so then I don't know. And then from there, I just saw, some of the money they were making. Obviously, some of it gets glamorized or some of it gets overhyped. And obviously, especially doing this so long now, I know that for every, 20K day or 12K or 10K or 5K day, there's an 8K loss. There's a 13,000 loss or whatever, you know.
Right.
And but I was like, oh wow, this is really, something cool, something interesting. There's got to be something behind it, and I just started studying from there and looking into it, and trying to learn all that I could. I kind of just got obsessed at that point,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, and trying to figure out, how this was done. I came into I feel like every time, I don't know why, but I mean, I guess every trader comes in at a different time, or they have that beginner's luck. But I came in at a time, and Bitcoin was starting to do its first ramp, and Mara was, funny enough, was like $3 or
Right.
$2, and you would just buy a Bitcoin ticker. I don't know if any of you guys were around, but there was a huge run in this company called Elfin. I don't know if any of you guys remember this, because this was a few years back. It got halted, and then they got under investigation. It ran up like 500%, in like 2 or 3 days, and then it
Oh
got
shit.
halted for securities fraud. Right at the end of the run, it was halted for like 3 weeks.
Oh my god.
It was pretty crazy. But in any event, it was so easy. I remember I would just see something on stock twits, and they'd be like, "This was going up" or whatever, and I would buy it, and then yeah, you can see someone said I got stuck in that halt. I had a little bit myself in it, because I scaled most of it out, but I had just a little bit. It was actually funny. I got a letter in the mail like a year ago, or maybe 6 months. I mean, with COVID, time is like all, I don't know. I don't have a good perception of
Yeah. It's.
time, but I got a letter from a law office saying all investors that lost money on Elf. I don't know if anyone's ever gotten letters like that. If you
Call
lose like on
us.
one of those scam companies, yeah, we're pursuing legal action if you lost money in
Oh
this,
fuck.
blah blah blah. It's like, but no, you could buy anything, for a couple of weeks or a month, and I was like, oh man, this is easy. I had $1,000. I turned it into 5,000. Like, oh, this is perfect. Um, I thought it turned out to be fine. I thought this was the easiest thing, but of course, no, it wasn't. The market changed, and then doing all the wrong things, chasing and all that stupid shit I was just doing, just blew up my account. So
Right.
that
So
was the start of it.
okay. And so were you trading equity at the time, or were you already in options?
No, no, I was doing small caps.
Okay.
I think that's where a lot of the people get their start.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't start trading options until I think maybe, I don't know, 2 years after after I was, getting more consistent with small caps. But even when I went to options, I would even struggle right off the bat, because the risk tolerance and figuring out, you can be down 20% or 30% on an options play, it's still valid. That's a lot different than being down 7% in shares. And
Right.
so
Right.
that kind of risk management took me a little bit to kind of get used to.
Okay. Um. So when you first started trading, you were day trading or swing trading, or kind of both?
I was ignoring my real job, and I was day trading, yes, and I was doing a little swing trading too, but
Nice.
mostly trying to day trade.
Okay. Was it tricky to trade while you're at work?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And now, now that I sit in front of a couple of screens, You know, I just have even more respect for anyone that still trades on their phone, you know, because damn, you
It's
can't look at the level two at the same time. You can't see the tape, but you
nothing.
can't see multiple time frames at the same time. It's like,
It's
you know,
tough,
it's on
dude.
another level.
I
So,
know.
uh, yeah.
Deb's wondering what kind of wine you're drinking.
Well, I think I know moth traps. Yeah, it's definitely Pinot Noir. They're right.
That's awesome. Uh, so when you discovered, so you're pretty much only options now
Yeah, yeah,
for the
yeah.
most
Now
part?
I just do options.
Okay.
I got really away from the small cap world.
And when you first got into options, would you say you had like like a larger account, or did you start with a small account and kind of grow it?
No, I had a cash account.
Okay.
You know, the good thing about options is that, you know, they settle the next day, unlike commons, you know, which take
Right.
2 days to clear. So I found that pretty appealing. So yeah, I went through the ebbs and flows of, you know, I took 10,000, I think, to 20, then back down to 8, then, you know, kind of went up and down, and you know, that whole uh, journey.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and then finally, when COVID hit, I was able to capitalize on that situation. And I kind of, first day, I was just kind of awestruck because I'd never seen SPY halt down before. And,
Did it halt down? I wasn't trading at the time.
oh, yeah, it halted down like three times, four
Holy
times, like, you
shit.
know, oh, yeah, I've never seen the whole market shut down like that before. I mean, I remember I was on voice chat with a couple of buddies, and
That's
we
crazy.
were all just like, what the hell is going on here?
Imagine riding puts on the
Um,
SPY like zero DTEs and it's halted down.
oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't do that, but
Yeah,
yeah, the
right.
first day I was frozen, but the second day I said, okay, you know, this is kind of a unique situation, and time to do a little something. So I got a couple of weeks out. You know, I think I was even swinging um, weeklies, which I didn't know was wrong anyway because I was
Right.
still pretty new. I think I was only doing options for like, I don't know, 6 months. I'm not exactly sure how long,
Okay.
um, but yeah, it was a great run, and that was really what got me over to where I could just day trade however. But I
Right.
did take some out, and then I was just like, okay, this is like one of the best investing opportunities we're ever going to see in our lifetime. You know, we're never
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
see Tesla at $300 or wherever it
No,
was again.
that's
So I was like,
crazy.
okay, now I got to take some of this out, and I need to put it into a long-term situation because it's just never going to come. I mean, we're not going to see that again.
Right.
Hopefully, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
because it's people hurt. You know, obviously, I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
when that people are losing jobs, and so you know.
So, is that when you kind of quit your job and sort of started doing it full time? Was that sort of COVID comeback?
Yeah, well, actually, I had some time at JP Morgan for a little bit, which was
Okay.
actually a really interesting experience. But I still I still traded on this job and ignored my real job because that was my passion, you know. And
Right.
I remember I would be getting phone calls, you know, or my boss more than once, you know, walked up to me while like I'm in an options
Oh,
trade. I'm
fuck.
like, I'm in 0 days right now. Did
Right.
you really?
Yeah.
Is this really like
Yeah.
important situation that you need to tell me? No, so I was there, and then finally, I just said, okay, you know, I need to make this leap. I think that going full time is a lot like getting married, although I'm not married, so I don't know, but um, you got to take a leap of faith. You know, you'd never know for sure. You know,
Right.
so you got to take that step and say, okay, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? Or how much do I love it?
Right.
Um, because yeah, I mean, you gotta love it because there's, you know, a lot of ups and downs. You know, it's not all, you know, nice
Right.
restaurants and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And Lamborghinis and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about uh, what rules would you apply to a small account if you had one to kind of find some success?
Well, I think, yeah, because I work with a lot of people, you know, with different sized accounts. And the biggest thing I think, well, especially with options, you know, is position sizing. Um, and learning. I think I saw a good quote on Twitter, and I don't know. I don't know who posted it, but it said something like, "When you're holding on to your losers, it's like watering the weeds, and when you sell your winners, it's like pulling out the flowers of your garden." So
Right.
the biggest thing I think is, if you're taking, um, you know, consistent, 30, I'm speaking in options terms now, so
Yeah.
just not shares. But um, if you're taking consistent 25-30% losers, I mean, you have to form a base where you can hold for those 50, 60, 100% winners. So the biggest thing is, I think, control your sizing. So, you don't obviously need to put in a lot of equity to get a nice return. One or two contracts, and focus on holding those winners, because that's obvious. I think one of the biggest things, or one of the last levels that traders got to, work on in their progression, is letting the winners run, because it's so counterintuitive, um, with, you know, why do I want to hold my losers, and I just want to sell my winners? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense. You would think if something's making you money, that, or if it's a flower in your garden, you want to appreciate it. You want to, love it, and, watch it grow, but
Right. Right.
you just want to get rid of them. So, that's tough.
Interesting. What one concept that I think is really critical to understand is like averaging down versus stop losses. Do you ever average down in your plays?
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that I think can be real challenging, because yes, I do, but I was talking to someone about this yesterday, and it's almost like I don't want to say an art, but it's almost like you're skirting on a thin line of risk, because they would really say to add on to your winners, average up,
Mm-hmm. Right.
average up on a trade that's working for you, which can also have other um, disadvantages in options, because you could be up 30% or 40%. If you add in too much, you might be down 20%, and then the trade goes against you, and then you're in heavier, and,
Right.
and then it turns into a worse loss. So what I often do, is, like, I'll get in maybe, if it's a high confidence trade, I'll get in maybe 70 or 80% of my position, giving myself a little bit of room in case I need to add a little bit, only at certain key levels. That's the other thing. You just, if the stock is going against you, and, you're just going to add at any time, it's not really, what you want to be doing. If you're coming into, somewhere on the volume profile that shows that there's a lot of, shares being traded there, you see some bids support on the level two. You're coming into a strong daily support, or demand area. Okay, then you might have a little bit of a case. But the thing is, if you get in with your full, just say, your total risk that you wanted to allocate for the trade was $5,000, or $500. Let's just say, we'll keep it on the for small accounts, $500. If you're in that whole $500, and then you start zebbing, um, you're gonna be oversized in your position, and then you're breaking the rules, basically, or because every trader, should be mindful of that. They don't want to be too overexposed, especially if it's a weekly day trade.
Right.
um and so, yeah, but it's very, it can be very tricky, but you have to do it in the right time. I did it recently. I've been in a swing trade on Apple, and they came out with some news. I think they lost an appeal with Epic Games. They're going through a lawsuit. But I saw it was coming down on the daily to trend line support. And I had confidence in the play. I know Apple and the total market in general, runs kind of into the end of the year. So I felt pretty confident in adding into that. And today we saw a beautiful breakout of the triangle. We hit 155 today, and we
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
sold off. But yeah. So that was in a situation where I was like, okay, I'm seeing it right here at this key level, and I'm okay with not oversizing on the swing. So I was okay with it.
Gotcha. Let's talk a little bit about your indicators and what you like to use in the charts. And do you trade options flow at all, or are you mostly indicators and momentum and that type of thing?
Well, I do have an option scanner.
Okay.
I don't necessarily make a trade based just off of options flow, because
Gotcha.
also too, it's hard sometimes to be able to see it if they're selling a covered call. You don't know
Right.
exactly. It could be a hedge on a short position,
Mm-hmm.
or on a long. And um, so you just use it as another piece of the puzzle to be able to kind of, inform your decision. I do have some custom indicators that I like to use, but really at the end of the day, I mean, I do also have a very kind of bare bones screen. I think I'm a big advocate of KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I mean, for day trading, I do have like a label on my chart that tells me what price VWAP is, but on a few of my day trading charts, um, I just have the 20 EMA and the 9, and that's it.
Gotcha.
So it's nice to be able just to have. I like my chart, clean,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of not a lot of garbage on it. And again, all the indicators are mathematical representations of the price action anyway.
Right.
So, and they lag. So really, I mean, the tape is what really rules. Yeah.
Uh, so by the tape, are you talking about the level 2?
No, that would be the level two is like market depth. The tape is the time and sales. That's the actual
Gotcha.
order flow that's going through at the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
And where's a good place to start for traders to learn the tape and level 2 and stuff like that?
Well, that's actually a good question, and it kind of it stinks because unfortunately for that, it's screen time. It's the school of hard knocks of
Yeah, yeah.
experience.
Right, right.
Because I've looked for a while and trying to find some good videos on tape reading, and all of them are kind of vague and just not. I never really found. I mean, I never really found any video that or anyone that really explained it that well. So for me, really the only thing I can say is practice. Looking at watching the tape. What you can also do on Thinkorswim, and I'm sure you could probably do it on most brokers, is you can change the amount of the sensitivity on your tape. Like I have mine to 200. Sometimes I put it on 500 shares, or you could put it on show greater or equal to 1,000, up to 5,000, or you can customize it on toss.
Okay, gotcha.
So I can slow it down because if you show all sizes, you're going to see 25 shares, five
Right.
shares. What are 5 shares of Apple going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that helps to slow down the tape, and then you're watching for reactions. Okay, are most of the buys on the bid, on the ask, are the sells on the bid, are they on the ask? If they're on the ask, what's the level two doing at the same time? If there's a 10 lot, just say at 155 on Apple, are buyers hitting the ask on that? And you'll see the tape, lighting up green. And then slowly kind of figure out, okay, when I see this, I know that this is going to happen. When I see that, and kind of get a feel for um, different scenarios,
Right.
Um, another good way to do it, and a lot of people don't have futures activated on their accounts because I think you need to have a margin account to
Okay.
trade futures. But trading ES or the micro
Yeah,
ES
ES
at
and the
night,
MQ.
yeah, trading that at night is really nice because the tape's pretty slow. And even if you wanted to paper trade it, I guess you could do that too. The tape's really slow, and you can kind of get a feel for the different scenarios that can be put in front of you. So that was actually something that I used to do that helped me a lot. I would just watch, the E-minis late at night
Right.
or trade them. And yeah, that was kind of helpful because the tape wasn't going,
Right,
it
right, right.
wasn't going crazy. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Uh, do you have a lot of option traders trading large caps talk about like a group of tickers that they always come back to, or like the main tickers that they trade? Do you have a group like that, or are you just kind of flowing with whatever you see?
No, and that's kind of, what you were talking about earlier, how you always go back to the, NQ or the
Yeah, yeah,
QQQs.
exactly.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I love to trade SPY, although I haven't been trading it too much recently.
Okay.
But definitely SPY is probably my, the one I'm the most familiar with. But since, when I was trading small caps, came from more of a momentum background or what had a PR, I'm still watching, the biggest movers on the day. Obviously, EV has been a hot theme for the last, month or so. So those, are always kind of, on watch, with Blink and Plug and LCID and all that stuff. So, so yeah, I'm also looking at themes, on the day or themes on the month. And then if they're relatively strong names, I'm watching them, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I try not to chase around too much because yeah, I think it's very beneficial. Like new traders, they'll trade the hot stock of the day,
Right.
whatever. But like, I've been trading SPY like pretty consistently for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a way bigger advantage over somebody else coming in to trade it for the first time. It's like coming into, my part of the ocean, so to speak,
Right, right.
or whatever. I'm going to have that. So I would suggest for everyone to, the chicken indicator. Yeah. I would suggest to everybody to get 5 or 10 stocks that they like the most, and focus on those because then you'll become an expert in it. And that's all you need.
My next question would be, what are the top five biggest mistakes that you're seeing with traders and options, and people have red day and it's because of X reason or whatever? What are some mistakes, some common mistakes that you're seeing, and what can people do to try to combat that?
Well, definitely not letting the winners run. I
Yeah.
would say that would be,
Okay.
that would definitely be a big one. Um, yeah, the level 2 on toss is not that good, but I still use it. But it'd be good if you get DOS Trader. Sorry, I see someone
No, you're good. You're good.
there.
Yeah.
um, uh, I'm definitely not letting your winners run. And I think I posted about this a couple of nights ago. Messing with the trade too much, I think, is
Okay.
something that a lot of people um, kind of have trouble with. They get in a trade. I think I posted something like sometimes like being in a trade is like baking a cake. You got to make the cake and then you got to put it in the oven. You got to let it work for you a little bit. I think people will start to look at their P&L. Oh God, I'm down 20% or whatever. They start freaking out when the chart is fine the whole time. And then they start either adding in or getting out of the trade when they just need to let it just sit and let it play out. They get too fidgety or
Right.
antsy.
Right.
Um, so that would definitely be, something. Um, I think that, I mean, pretty much any mistake in trading, option traders make the same. I mean, it's no different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so yeah, and um, I would say, well, I posted about this yesterday. I know some people like to swing, weeklies, like
Mm-hmm.
it can be really sexy returns, but like if I'm swinging, go with the safer contract, and that's another thing. If you're just starting to learn about options, I would also suggest probably to trade the monthlies. You're going to pay a little bit more premium, but they are less volatile and they're going to hurt less, if they go against you. So that could be a good, something that I might recommend. The returns aren't going to be as good as weeklies, like, if you got in a monthly and might go up 30%. I mean, that's still a great return, but if you were trading weeklies, that might have been a 55% winner,
Sure.
something like that.
Right.
However, you're trading that for a little bit of relative safety. And that can be really kind of, helpful, and especially if you're just getting into options and you're not used to, how they move, because even I think a couple of days ago, I was down, I think it was 50% or something like that at one point on
Okay.
some SPY zero day options. But I
Mm-hmm.
saw that VIX on the hourly had this big bear flag head and shoulders thing. And I had a big suspicion about a run at the end of the day. And I was just holding on to these things. I was like, let's see if this bear flag plays out. And literally in the last 3 minutes of the day, it did play out
Oh
and it
shit.
broke down, and
Let's
then SPY
go.
shot up, and then I got out for 16%, which
Sure.
was,
Yeah.
still, way better than a 50% loss.
Right. Right.
But, but yeah, so, and it's not necessarily something that I, would recommend at all times, especially to new traders. I mean, you're down 50%, it's kind of, calls are kind of cooked,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah.
Hodl, baby, hodl it. um, so on your end, your screen setup, how many screens do you have, and what do you like to keep up to kind of watch while you're trading?
Yeah, well, I have my main, my laptop screen, then I have two other screens. I'm always watching, the VIX, the major indices, IWM, the Dow, although the Dow is so boring, I don't barely watch it. Qs, obviously. So that way I always just have a general idea of the market sentiment, how we feeling, bullish, bearish, what's going on. And then from there I can kind of make a decision like, okay, like, how do I feel about this momentum trade, or what's the sentiment on the day overall.
Right.
But I'm also looking, I'm also looking at the sectors. I'll look at, is communication strong? Is consumer discretionary strong? That's another way, that I'll kind of look for stocks or look for plays. Kind of getting a sense of, what's hot, what's not. Also knowing the sectors also can kind of give you an idea. Like if you see like utilities or materials kind of running hot for a while, like if you see strength in those names, that usually tells you it's like a risk off type of environment. But if you see like tech and IWM and things like that running, that it's more of like a risk on type of environment. So also kind of like tracking and keeping an eye on those kind of things can give you a more broader perspective of what like the overall sentiment is on. And then you can also make decisions on, how you want to trade for the day. Not if you want to push the gas for yourself, or if it's a hot day, like, or whatever. If it's slow, maybe you just pull back on the size or not trade as much. um, Recently, I've been seeing that we've been getting a lot of nice moves in the morning, and then afternoon kind of fizzles out. So
Right.
we've seen this before in the market, but it's something that I've started to see again over the last, I don't know, maybe week or 2 weeks. Um, so that's something that I've kind of been cognizant or watching out for, um, to take advantage in the morning, and then maybe pull back later in the day.
Right. Do you ever trade in after, or sorry, not after hours, but power hour, or not typically?
Yeah, definitely. Like I did a trade on Piton yesterday.
Okay. Nice.
It was strong all day. I think it was, I don't know, I think it had an offering and it was up 10% or something like
Right.
that on the offering. It was something weird. Something weird
Perfect.
was going on. Yeah, but it was strong all day, and usually, not all times, but a lot of times if you have a strong name on the day, they do see continuation into power hour. You see that in small caps as well. So I was watching Piton. We had gotten in around 2 o'clock, I believe, and then it ripped up to the high of day, like in power hours. So yeah, definitely, power hours, definitely one of the probably the second best time to trade. You got the morning until like 11:30, 11:45,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then kind of the afternoon's a little lull.
Right.
Um, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Back to the topic of letting your winners run and that sort of thing. Let's talk a bit about taking profits. Where do you like to take your profits? Are you scaling out? Do you have a target in mind? How does that process work for you?
Yeah, well, I'll usually, when I see a breakout over a key level, I will usually take some off the table.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have a profit target per se in my mind, because I feel like that limits my perspective. Like, one of my favorite, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know of him, and if you don't, definitely need to check out Mark Douglas. He always says, anything can happen. So yes, like again, just whatever, Apple could break 155, or it might not break 155 today, but it could also,
Right.
and you don't know, if you just say, I'm just going to get out right at this place, I don't care, you're kind of limiting yourself a little bit, in my opinion. So as long as the the trend doesn't break, we don't start to break the shorter term moving averages. I try my hardest, to stay in the trade for as long as I can. Yes, I'm taking profits along the way, but I don't say to myself, okay, I'm going to take profits here at
Right.
30% or something like that. I'll put it more based on the chart, on the level two, what I'm seeing on the tape, seeing selling pressure or whatever. But I try not to pigeonhole myself and say, okay, this is my target. I want to be open-minded to all the, I want to open myself up to all the possibilities that could happen, all the potentialities.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just want to say really quick to everyone in chat, if you guys do have a question for SharkTrader, go ahead and type it out. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A. And just at 100_million or Shark or just one of us, so that we can see your, it'll highlight the question for us.
Yeah, I see the people in here. Thanks, guys, so much for coming.
Yeah,
A good
man.
turnout.
We hit over 100, so that's awesome.
I appreciate everyone being in here.
100%. How do you set a stop loss / manage your risk on flags or trend breaks?
Hey, Dad. What up, Dad?
Is that your son?
Yeah, that's my son. Yeah, I actually, 50 of the people in here are actually just me on other computers to try to make it look like there are more people
Yeah.
on.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
I
that's
like that.
actually me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
But how do I? Okay, well, usually, like, if you have a flag. Okay, here. Well, I could.
Do you want a screen share? Maybe we can walk through.
I could show on Apple, because Apple was a nice one today. Hold on.
Sure. Yeah. Sharks eat together. Sharklets. Baby shark.
These are the guys that the tanks. They're causing trouble here.
Nice.
Let's see if we can get Apple going.
And if I don't know if we were still doing that, but if you did want to do a giveaway, we have a fun way of doing that on here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Got 100 people in here, and trade weeds. Yeah, I think I came up with a nice shark trivia question. If someone can answer it,
Okay.
and then they can DM me on Twitter, and I'll give them a month free in the room.
Damn, I like that. Okay.
Well, five of my children just left, so they're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
They get a lump of coal.
Luck's run dry.
So do I need to do something on my end to
Yeah.
share? Do I need to press video or screen or something?
Yeah, see that little TV screen with the arrow in it? Click that.
Yeah.
And then pick your whatever, tab you're using. That should be perfect. Yeah, awesome. And I'll maximize that. There we go. Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, so on Apple today we had, the flag here, forming. So let me see. Probably looks a little cleaner. Okay, here we go. So yeah, if I was to get in, and I know that a couple of the Sharks took this trade. Unfortunately I missed it. But if I was to get in this trade, well, this purple trend line I have here is actually on the daily,
Oh,
and I
gotcha.
posted this last night. So I was watching that level as well, as some support, because it just broke through this major trend line. But if I didn't have that lineup, hypothetically, I would probably put it at the bottom side. Like if I was taking entry, and I'll just try to like highlight. If I was taking entry like in this area, which hopefully yeah, I could see there's a little bit of delay. All right, yeah, if I was taking entry in this area, I would probably have, my stop at the bottom of these candles here, you know. But I would definitely still be watching this 9 EMA, which is the yellow one. I would
Gotcha.
still be watching that, and just have. And now you could have this potential. Now here it gave a little fake out on this first red candle, but you can see the full body of the candle didn't close below that support. It wicked down, but the candle didn't close there. So I
Right.
think that's another thing that's worth mentioning. And it's definitely a test too on options because, a wick down like this, if you're in calls or, on the reverse, if you're in puts, a wick down like this can be pretty painful. Your options might go down, 10 or 15%. And you're like, but if the candle body doesn't close under this support, have whatever you have, then you're okay. So don't freak out. Wait for a full body candle to close under a moving average or over before you make a decision on what you're going to do. That's definitely another, helpful because, you could just get stopped out right here. You wouldn't even looked on the 15-minute chart that the bullish momentum is still in play. You're still above the 9. And if you had an option scanner, you would have heard, the flow ripping into Apple.
Right.
And also you would have today, on this igniting candle, the first candle, it broke out of the triangle on the daily. So you knew that it made a big trend break, which is, a very powerful, move. Let's get that back in there. You knew it had this big trend break, which is a big powerful move to get over that on the daily. But so you knew you had that as the last the very last resort, of your support, which not coincidentally, coincides right here with your 20, EMA, which is the last kind of line of defense for intraday, bullish momentum.
Right.
But yeah, if I was to get into that flag, it looks a lot cleaner on the 15. But yeah, if I was to get in on this flag, yeah, I would probably set my risk here at. I would probably have it like a clean break of 152, that whole number, psychological support. That's probably how I would play it. If it started breaking like a 10-minute candle held below that 152, and that would also coincide with the 9 EMA here breaking on the 15-minute. Yeah, I mean, depending on your risk tolerance, you could try to hold for the 20, but that would be the safer, the more conservative way to kind of play it out.
And that's the 9 you said, the yellow one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
cool.
virtual dusty stick.
Yeah, I saw that. What is that? You do beat your students with a dusty stick?
Yeah, well, basically. No. I don't know. It just became a thing in our chat room.
I like it.
I don't know why. I don't know where the hell it came from, but there was this weird looking. It looks like a toilet bowl cleaner, kind of. I don't really know who put it in there or if it's just a part of Slack. But in any event, it just became a thing where if someone does something stupid or we make mistakes, because we try to, in a loving way, we try to hold ourselves accountable for if we're doing silly things, or someone says I want to, and so that's kind of our way to say stop being dumb. So yeah, I'm not a big proponent of the 1 minute chart. I think that's another thing. Even the 5 minute, not really too much of a fan on. I mean, look at all this noise that you have to deal with in the 5 minute here.
Yeah, I
mean,
hear
look
you.
at all these panels, up, down, up, down. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to drive you crazy. That's going to stop you out of the trade.
Right.
Yes, okay, you could say here that on the 5 minute, no candle really closed below the 9 EMA. but like I've posted on Twitter before, like I think the 3 minute to 5 minute, it's like all basically like a scam by your broker. Unless you
Wow.
got a
Okay.
lot of money, unless you got a lot of money where you could like put in like 15K and like take advantage of like a small
Right.
move.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a viable way to trade. I
No,
mean,
that's really
here,
cool. I've never heard anyone say that.
yeah, I mean, here, on the 10 minute, you stay in the trade. It's holding the nine the whole time.
Right.
I mean, there's just no reason to sell. Now here, when you're up at 155, again, whole number, psychological resistance, and look at another way that this could be a indicator that you're hitting 155, that this might be the top. Either A, it's a psychological resistance being whole number, and B, look at the space. When you say that the stock is extended, look at the space from the highest candle here at 155
Right.
from the 9 EMA.
Right. Okay.
That's a big amount of space. And then even more, price action has even more space down to the 20. This kind of like almost two candle spacing is an indicator again that you might be hitting a top. This a lot of Most people don't have this. This is like an oversold, overbought indicator that it's custom one that I have. This Hello Momo. You can see here that we're in oversold territory as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get a big space here between the moving averages like that, that's also can be another indicator to you that you might want to start to scale or sell, whatever, because stocks are a lot like humans in the sense that they crave homeostasis, and the moving averages are a good definition of that homeostasis. So when price action gets too extended from those moving averages, it's always going to want to revert to the mean at the end of the day. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Someone in chat goes, "You're doing it wrong. With the 10-minute chart, you can have like 3 trades per day, but with the 1-minute chart, you can have 30."
That's our
That's awesome.
resident mascot.
No, that's great.
So yeah, that's definitely, and that's where you can kind of like you can use spacing, like the spacing of price action between the moving averages to be able to kind of see when a move might be exhausted. Because you might hear like people talk about a stock being extended, but you don't really know what that means. You know, what does that mean? Like a stock extended? Extended from what? You know.
Right.
So in my opinion, it's extended from the EMA. I don't
Gotcha.
know if it would. I don't know if it would be any more clear. No, it's not that more clear. But it's actually funny in my progression. I have a buddy of mine, Hippie Shark, who I started trading with years ago, and I went from being a penny stock scalper on the 3 minute to now. I mean, even the 10 minute. I really prefer the 15, 30 hour. You get those bigger moves.
Right.
Um, but yeah.
And his name is John C.
But that's so that's it.
Okay.
Did I
Cool.
lose you on audio? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Sorry. Someone played John Cena. That's my bad. So tell us a little bit about your stock trading group, and I don't know if you want to show us on the screen, like kind of a rundown, like how it works, and where they can sign up.
Oh yeah, well we're on Slack, which is a little different. I know obviously Discord's the more popular platform, but I like Slack. It's a little bit more like kind of business oriented. But no, we're a tight knit group.
Okay.
I really
Okay.
try to I kind of cap how many people are allowed in. It's not really about like, how many subscribers or how many people are in there for me, because, I like to be able to give a more personal like touch.
Mm-hmm.
People can, they ask me right out during the day what I think about their own trades. I'd really try to help the people that want the help as much as I can, individually, which I kind of feel like is lacking. Like just yesterday, actually, someone was having some trouble, and we spent 45 minutes on the phone. I was talking to them, just trying to help them. Yeah, we have some. They're all posting lewd emojis. We have a lot of funny emojis too that we see on Discord. You have to pay for Nitro. On Slack, you
Right.
don't. You can use all the animated. So
Oh,
yeah, if you want to sign up, you got to come to Slack because then you can just use all these funny emojis.
that's awesome.
uh, no, but no, but there, I really love it. It's been really fun, because I get to help people and, as much as I can. Of course, you can lead a shark to fish, but you can't make them eat. So, it's, it can be struggling at times. And I mean, because, the mental game is so hard. I posted last night, I can teach everybody a bull flag or,
Right.
support and resistance. That's all easy, but conquering the mental part is really the hardest,
Yeah, I saw that post. I thought that was really good. That makes a lot of
the
sense.
hardest part of it. We all have the same indicators, we all have the
Right.
same tape, but what makes the difference is, how you handle everything mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a never ending process. It's almost like a muscle, almost like doing cardio, like you have to run every day because, I kind of wanted to touch on this. Being a professional, I took like and you see people post losses too sometimes,
Yeah.
on Twitter, but I took a big loss. I broke nearly all my rules on some 0 days on Facebook, and I took a really, painful loss for my account. And it just kind of goes to show you that, if you are also struggling in that mental game, that like that professionals struggle with it too. You never perfect that. You can, almost perfect technical analysis.
Right.
But, you're never going to perfect the mental game. It's something you always need to be aware of, something you always need to be working on. Okay. Like I even have like a trading checklist. So like if I go back and I have like a real banger of a couple of trades, I'll go back and also like, write down or log like how was I feeling that day? What was the sentiment in the market? What was the theme? But also how am I feeling? Like, did I get enough, if I had, at the time, well, this was maybe like a year ago, like when I was living with my girlfriend, like if I had a fight with my girlfriend and then I tried to go in and trade, or if I was having a bad day at work and then I was trying to trade, I would always trade horribly, because I was having other things going on mentally that were affecting me. So it's just really important to make sure that you're also in the best place to be able to make the best trades that you can make, because this is a performance sport. It's like basketball, it's like professional anything,
Mm-hmm.
so you need to make sure, are you going to be out, drinking all night and, going crazy, or, up till, 5 in the morning, and then you think you're going to trade your best at 9:30. That's not going to happen. So it's also kind of good to have a trading checklist. What's my mindset? Do I feel FOMO at them? Or did I miss two or three big trades and I'm feeling FOMO? Then it's probably not the best time to put on a trade because you're going to do something sloppy and make a silly mistake.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I think that's definitely important. So I try my best to tell, to share my mistakes and to be honest with the traders that are in my room, and to help them. I mean, I really try, my best to do that, and I care about them all.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the biggest thing, and that's what I think comes great from having like a smaller group, because I can really focus on them, and
Of
we've
course.
definitely become like a family. So it's been nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. So to sign up for the group, is that on your Twitter? They can go there to check it out.
Yeah, yeah, they can go on. Yeah, it's not a shameless plug, but if they want to go on, yeah, my Twitter, there's some instructions on there. They could just DM me if they're interested in
Gotcha.
in trading with me. And I would say it's even more than just like it's on an alert room. It's kind of more of like a mentorship because I'm truly like open for everybody.
100%.
Um, so yeah.
So yeah, you guys can check that out on _SharkTrader on Twitter. In his description, his bio there should be some instructions. You guys can follow that. So please go check it out. If you are interested, you liked what you saw today, you learned something. Maybe that'll be the room that changes your trading. Who knows? So we do have a couple questions from chat that if you have some time, we'll take.
Don't go to SharkTrader. That's not a real one. That's
Who said that?
our buddy Heckwin here just gave out, because I have impersonators. These people
right.
I'll never DM you to ask you how your crypto trading is going. Yeah, that's.
So the first question here, I gotta scroll up to find it. One sec. There it is. So how do you properly size down, and how do you find? Sorry. And do you find it hard to find entry points and exit points? What do you look for your entries and exits, I guess is the question.
Well, I think it would be a matter if I'm trying to day trade or swing trade. As I was mentioning before, someone actually DM'd me recently and was like, "Oh, I'm trying to swing trade. Like, what was like the one thing that you would say, for swing trading?" And as I mentioned before, like stocks kind of are like humans, will remind me of people. How they always want to have homeostasis, and for me, like the 20 EMA is homeostasis for stocks. So like if I was swing trading, like the most basic thing is like an entry off the 20 on the daily is like a pretty high probability trade. So if I was swing trading, I like that, always. But that also goes for intraday. So yeah, I'm looking for, I'm using volume price analysis. Like if I see volume shelf, if it's coming, if it's a relatively strong name, if we like Apple today, if we have that big igniting candle to start with, and then it comes down to touch the 9 EMA, on a 10-minute or 15-minute chart. If we have a PR or whatever the case might be, I'm more than likely gonna take that trade. So yeah, I'm using those moving averages quite a bit, along with the level 2 volume profile. But yeah, I can't deny a good push off the 9 or the 20, depending on the time of the day.
Gotcha.
For intraday or on a daily chart or on a weekly chart. It just depends on, your time frame that you're trying to trade.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. In chat, for sure not paper says, he's quoting you, and he says, "Shark, don't drink all night, but also this Pinot slaps."
Pretty good. Yeah.
These guys are hilarious, man. I'm dying.
Yeah, this is what I deal with all day. No.
That's awesome. I do have another question here from J Levi 47. Cut off QCOM for a nice gain today, but a little early. Didn't know if it could pull or something like that from yesterday or whatever. Are fib levels a good idea next time to look for an exit? Do you use fib levels at all?
I don't, but I am aware of them. Yeah, like when you're trying to, fib levels definitely hold true. When you're looking for exits, usually people will use like the extensions. So you could try to map out some extensions on your chart. And yeah, they definitely ring true. What I like to do, I don't have them on my chart. I do have an auto fib script, but I don't really use it. But what I like to do is, I'm not like a disciple of VPA or a disciple of fibs or Elliott waves, but I like to take what because I truly believe, and I'm not a perfect trader. I'm not the best trader. I'm still always learning. That's always like the growth mindset is the most important thing. You can learn one thing from, you can learn something from fibs, something from Elliott waves, something from VPA. And that's kind of what I like to do, is put all these different things together, and find out what works for me. Some people, just swear by fibs. That's fine. That might work for them, but they definitely ring true. I mean, fib extensions will definitely show you some potential resistance as as a place to scale for sure. But still, what I would suggest is what I was saying before when you were training QCOM today. Let me look at the chart real quick. Okay. Yeah, it had that run up and then just kind of hit and knife down. I see. But yeah, as before, this is not the cleanest example, but yeah, you're riding that 9 and then, well, we could share my screen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came off.
No, I still see it. You're good.
Oh, okay. So cool. Yeah. So it would be the same kind of situation, again, is using that kind of that spacing, that time and space kind of concept that I was talking about earlier, where, you've seen it make this big move. And yes, this is the 5-minute chart, so you guys can dusty stick me in the tank. But you can see here that you've got all this space again between the top of the candle and the moving averages. You pretty much have that same 2-bar, those 2 triangles I drew there. The same time space. It made this huge move in the time, and now you have this space between the EMAs, and it's going to want to revert to the medium. And in this case, it broke the 20, but I'm sure if we drew in fibs here, you could probably see. But also check the daily. That's going to give you, well, I guess QCOM is kind of a no man's land right now. But coming into those daily resistances are also pretty big. But yeah, check the fibs. That can definitely be a tool. But yeah, man, just, get on those longer time frames and ride the 9, baby. Ride the wave.
Ride the 9. Let's go. Another question coming in here. From Aaron, how do you set up your scanner, and do you use any option flow services? We covered that earlier. If so, what is it and how do you use it? So I guess for your scanner, I don't know. We kind of answered that question. Do you have something you want to add to that?
Yeah, I use Flow Algo for my scanner.
Gotcha.
For options. Again, I just use it as a tool. If I see a big order, I just don't base something off of that.
Slap it. No, just kidding.
Yeah. That gets you in trouble on options. But I don't have like a stock scanner. Usually I have a watch list. Oh, it's not going to show it. I have a watch list of all usually liquid stocks, that I like to trade options on. You can't see it because my other screen is. Let me see if I can switch it. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Nice. So I just have also a watch list of the stocks that have decent options that usually can be moved, and then I just sort it right here by net change. So I know, okay, Roblox was the strongest, LAC was strong today, Tesla, blah, blah, blah. And then if I want to see the weakest, Roku, FSR. So that's how I can kind of determine what's strength, what's strong, what's not. So just build a watch list, and then you can just shift it however you want.
Yeah, nice and easy. And that kind of goes back to just trading those same tickers, getting to know them, and kind of getting that advantage, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna I don't normally trade all these. There might be a handful of 10 of them that I prefer, but at least I know what's going on. And also, it also might give me an idea. Like if I see CCL, AAL, BA, NCLH up, I'm gonna know the travel sector is hot. If I see mRNA and Pfizer up, I might also look at NVAX, because I know vaccine plays are going, or if I see, AMC or GME and, FSR is kind of a meme stock, SPC is kind of a meme, I might know, okay, it might be a meme day or whatever. So that also can give me an indication about what's going on.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, cool. Any other questions in chat for Mr. SharkTrader before we start to wrap things up? Lurch says the tank is a bunch of degenerates. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, no, sometimes they are, but I try to Try to keep them in line.
Yeah, good. Keep them straight. All right. Let's go over kind of one more question to kind of wrap things up. Oh, that was a question I was going to ask you. Thanks for bringing that up on TV, Steve. How do you pick the strike in the money or out of the money? When you're looking at that spreadsheet, what are you looking for, and how do you decide which one you're picking?
What is this? Wait, no, I'm the original shark. No, I'm not related to. Well, I guess we are related to bull shark.
Bull shark?
Bull sharks are cool sharks. That was a good interview yesterday. He's a great trader for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome. Shark Week, baby.
Yeah. Shark Week in the middle of fall. Well, we'll have to do this again though when it's actually Shark Week.
Oh, for sure.
Discovery in August.
All shark themed traders all week long, baby. Let's go.
No, but I usually err on the side of caution. I'm usually playing at the money or in the money, especially for weeklies, because they're going to be a little bit, more, if this trade goes against you, they're going to be a little bit more, less volatile. You have some intrinsic value in the strike. But that being said, sometimes, usually the 5s and the 0s are the most traded contracts. So it also just depends on the trend. So you also look at where the volume is, you don't, if the 65 calls, just whatever as an arbitrary number, have the most volume, but the price is 63 on the stock, and it has a 63 strike, I'm probably going to pick the 65s because they're more liquid, even though they're slightly out of the money. I'll probably go with those because I want the eyes on that contract. I want the volume. I want the liquidity. I don't want to get stuck in a situation where the stock, the underlying is moving up, but no one's buying my contracts.
Right.
So I'm just kind of dead in the water. So I'm at the money, in the money. Yes, like if you pick I'm sure we've all seen the Wall Street bets like Tesla was at 500 and I got, $1,500 calls on Tesla and I made, 2,000%, those are unicorn trades. Those aren't realistic for long-term success. So, you want the delta, you want that on your option, to be able to take, the most advantage of the moves in price action that you're going to get. Because if you're too far out of the money, your delta is going to be what? You're going to get 15 cents per dollar move. I mean, what's that? That's like, I would rather 30, 40, 50,
Right.
50 cents on the dollar move. So you're going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to pay a little bit more, yes, but you're paying for safety and you're paying for for it being better.
Right.
Yeah, like just because, it's like, oh, these are cheap options. Like, do you want a cheap hooker? Like, not really. You know what I mean? It's not always the best situation.
The tank knows. The tank knows. Yeah, no.
Wavy.
That's great. For sure, not paper says, when it's Shark Week, you got to take the dirt road home. Dude, I'm dying over here, man. Who are these people? Oh,
Paper.
shit.
He's the spread master. He loves to spread cheeks. He's
sounds like it.
resident.
Okay.
He's our resident calendar debit spread guy here. I'm gonna start calling him margarine shark or something. Butter shark.
Yeah,
He's spreading the gains all over the tank.
We like that. So much spread. Jeez. Jay,
No, he's allowed. Well, this guy's gonna ask a newbie question, but he's allowed. Okay, if I put in a price.
Yeah, Jay, let's just go ahead. That's fine.
15, if I put in the price at 15 and the delta is 15, isn't that 100%? I don't understand that.
If you want to expand on that question a little bit, I have another question here from Jay Licious. How often do you straddle stocks, and how do you do that if you do? Maybe you don't.
Yeah, I don't straddle them, actually. I'm not that well versed, unfortunately. It's something that I should start to look up on because there's so many cool things you can do with options, as far as diagonals, iron, condor, butterfly, calendar spread,
Yeah.
put debit, and that's kind of where even for me, like my head starts to go like,
I
what the
know.
hell is going on? Like,
I,
so I kind of try to keep it simple, just,
buy and
single
sell.
leg directional, but, you can make money on options if it's just channeling, you can sell the premium and make money on the theta decay, so there's so many cool things that you can do, but unfortunately I can't give you too much, information on that because I'm not too well versed in it. I usually play single leg, directional, up or down, calls or puts kind of trader.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Anything else that you think maybe we missed that is important that you think we should cover? And if not, we can move on to the giveaway.
Um, let's see here because I had some notes. Let's see. I would say, one thing, got a couple of one-offs. If you want to be a great trader, learn how to be an amazing loser.
Okay.
That's definitely something that is kind of a haiku or whatever. Learn how to manage that risk. Learn how to, when you're wrong, you're wrong. Okay, cut it, move on. There's always going to be another trade. And, there have been days where I've taken, maybe my first two trades are red, but I waited for the right opportunity and then I struck and then I turned my day to green, because I cut those back, I cut that at a 15% loss and, maybe a 25% loss, but then my next trade was a 60% winner, but if I bag held, then I would have never had that opportunity to move on.
Right.
Another thing is, if you want the mindset to be a good bullish trader, and guys in the tank will make fun of me and say I'm a perma bull, but that's not true. It's just I'm not a communist, so but if you want to be a good bull trader, if you want to learn how to think like a bear, and conversely, if you want to be a good short trader, learn how to think like a bull. And that's kind of what I love about trading, that it's kind of counterintuitive, and we also see that in the fact that it's so hard to hold on to a winning trade versus how hard it is to hold on to a loser, because it doesn't make any sense. You would think
Right.
that it would be easier to hold on to the other one. So it's the same thing, I like to think, when I get in a trade, where are the bears going to, if I'm long, I start thinking like a bear. Where am I going to cover? If I break this level, then we're going to see a squeeze. So I
Right.
start thinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm short and I'm puts, where if this breaks, if that level breaks, if bid support, whatever breaks, what's going to be that level to propel me to the next
Gotcha.
step down? So I think that's also another great thing. The other thing is, you don't have to trade every day. Less is more. Sometimes, like, like how frustrating is it? I'm sure we've all been through it. I've been through it many times still, even to this day, when you're green on the day and then you get greedy and then you trade yourself down to red. Less is
Right.
more. I mean, if you make one or two good trades on the day, call it, dude. Just hang up like you're green, like you made 5% on your account, 4%, whatever. You don't need to keep on going in the market and trading all day and sitting in front of the screens. That also is going to kind of like, I'm sure most people have their own jobs, but even for someone like myself, yeah, I'm running the room, I'm helping them. So I'm sitting by the computer. But like, if I'm having a good day, some days like could be done by 11.
Sure.
I could go back
Sure.
to sleep or go do whatever I want for the rest of the day. So you don't need to be sitting there. The market's always going to be there. You're always going to have another trade, another opportunity. You get two trades, one trade good in, like, okay, like that's all you need. So less is more. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't put yourself in that situation. Another tip that I kind of stress in the tank that I think is helpful, that comes from this prop firm that's in New York City that's pretty famous. That if you are up, whatever your gains are, like $1,000 for the day, if you keep trading and you give back, now it just depends on your risk tolerance. So it could be different for everybody.
Okay.
But if you give back, say 20%, 25%, 30% of your gains on the day from that point. So then you're down to 700 or 650. Just call it. Just stop. Like, you're out of sync with the market. Just, call it. So that way you don't trade yourself to red.
Love that,
Don't
yeah.
think you have to. Yeah. So, like, if you're up and you drop down 15%, just, just call it. Because what worse feeling is it than being green on the day, 1,000, and then closing 250 red
Oh,
or
bro.
whatever like
Yeah.
that. Like, I mean,
No
that's the
kidding.
worst.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, there's that.
Is that the 30% rule? Someone's saying to tell the 30% rule, moth traps.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could be different. Like, everybody has a different level, like what's
Okay.
right for them. So yeah, it could be 15%, it could be 30%. 30% would probably be like the more aggressive, but
Right.
it could be anywhere from that range.
Gotcha.
And the other thing is, um, I would say for the other thing, the biggest thing for new traders is, don't be or work on not being an outcome-based trader. You want to be a process oriented trader, in that, when outcome-based traders are all focused on how much they made that day, what what their P&L was on that trade. I used to be like that too. If I lost in a trade, I was crying. If I won, I was like taking off all my clothes and like running around,
Yes, sir.
and so, yeah, if I lose on a trade, but I followed my trade plan and I
Right.
respected my rules, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But if I lose on a trade and I break my rules and oversize whatever, then that's not acceptable. So, just focus on following your trade plan. You got to have a trade plan before. If it breaks, 55 on a full body candle, I'm out. Okay, I took a loss. That's fine. I followed my plan. That's fine. Because as long as you have a system in place, then you're going to end up overall profitable. But if you don't have any system like that, then one of your losses will be 45%, one will be 35. You'll get a win at 25%. You'll get another loss at 50%. You'll have a win at 35%. It's going to be all over the place, So having that game plan, focusing on being more process oriented, and that process being your trade plan. Don't look at your P&L. Look at the chart. Your P&L is just going to fuck with your head.
That's a great
Excuse me
tip.
if I'm not
Yeah.
allowed to.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean,
You're good. Yeah, I really like that one. I've heard that before. To trade the chart, don't trade your P&L. Just
yeah. Well, I think someone said that. Yeah, Bull Shark said that yesterday. But
right.
it's worth saying again.
Oh,
It's
100%. Yeah,
100%
yeah.
true.
No, that's a really powerful tip.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's definitely that, and yeah. I mean, we could go on forever for sure.
Oh, of course. Sorry, the guys in your chat are killing me. Or your guys in my chat are killing me, dude. We got Sharkalicious. We have a hot tub room where we go in the tank if you're green on the day, but no underwear allowed.
Oh Lord, what is wrong with these people? Yeah, I know it's hard not to trade the account. I know it's hard not to trade your P&L with the, especially with the small account. But here's the thing: like, you gotta also then position sizing. I mean, it's hard. It's definitely tricky, trading with the smaller account. But you have to, and Twitter doesn't help that, because you see people making, like,
Oh, that's what it's all
1
about.
million, and
Right.
yeah, exactly. Like, I took some time away from it because I was getting
Yeah,
too
man.
to reality TV with it, like,
Yes, yes,
so,
exactly.
it's not about that, but if you have to, like, one contract, two contracts, let it ride. I think though also, like, what if you have a smaller account, and I need to make a list, and I've been slacking. I've been meaning to make a list like now on this. I moved back to New York City recently, and I've been saying this for a while, but I need to sit down and make a list for the tank, and I'll probably post it on Twitter too. Like, of the different stocks that you should be trading for your account size. Like, if you don't have 25,000, you should not be trading Tesla. Like,
Right.
what are you going to get? One contract, like two contracts?
Yeah.
And maybe you might be able to get three on on like a 0 day, like on a Friday.
Right.
But like at that point, your risk is like,
Oh, it's
off the
huge.
charts anyway. Yeah. So, trade the right stocks for your account too. Like, well, AMD is more expensive now. That used to be one. But like if you have a smaller account, focus on CCL, focus on, well, Blink has kind of been a high V. FCell, that's one that's been going a bunch recently. What else? Neo can have
Mhm.
not too expensive contracts. SPCE, AAL, FSR, Fubo. If you have a smaller account, work on trading these names because then you can get maybe 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 contracts. Again, respecting your sizing rules,
Right.
that gives you some leeway to be able to scale in and out, as you need to. Because if you have one contract, I understand it's hard. You're at 35%, you want to sell it. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
like I understand. But if you have a smaller account, you're trying to trade Nvidia, for example, or like Roku, and the things cost $6, $4. Like, what are you going to do with that one contract? Like, yeah, there's nothing. So yeah, CLF. No, I
Mhm.
mean X. I like X better than CLF.
Right.
Yeah, CCL has been the Titanic recently. Yeah, but yeah. So trade the right stocks for your account. I think that's the other bigger thing. Don't try to go trade some big cap stocks when you have a smaller account.
Yeah,
There's no
no, that's a great
can't do
tip. No
anything
one
with
said
that.
that before on the stream, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Yo, what's going on, Aeon Scalper? How you doing? These guests fire? Yes, sir. Any more questions for SharkTrader before we do the giveaway here? So we're gonna give away. You said 1 free month.
Yeah, I got a trivia question about sharks.
Excellent.
Now, none of the sharks can answer the question, unfortunately. I'm
Don't
sorry,
spoil the
but
question in chat. We'll
well,
give
they
them.
don't know.
Oh, okay.
They don't know the question, but
It's basically gonna be a race.
we'll see. We'll see who knows it's a shark-oriented question.
Okay, so get ready. How do you want to do it? Do you want me to count down to it or?
Uh, yeah. Well, doesn't really make a difference who can Google the fastest. But again, man, thank you so much for having me on. I mean, it's been a lot of
Yeah,
fun. We'll have to do it again. I'm
100%, bro.
I'm so pleased about the turnout. Like,
Yeah, this is
thank you
huge,
all
dude.
you guys listening. It's been great, and yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Absolutely,
Love
man.
sharing stuff with everybody, and
Yeah, this is a lot
hopefully
of fun.
making the learning curve a little bit better. Yeah,
For sure.
Harry Potter and Shark hanging out. Canadian, Canadian.
Canadian. Okay, don't get that wrong, all right? It's freezing. Look at the sweater I'm wearing. You got like that t-shirt on.
Yeah, well, it's actually kind of nice here. It's 57 in New York. This is like the
Okay.
last nice day. I think I'm honestly thinking of going back to Florida for a couple of months. Like
Yeah.
get away from the cold.
If someone could convert 57 Fahrenheit to Celsius for me, that'd be great. I don't know what that means. Yeah, but no, like you said, man, this is a ton of fun. Thank you so much for coming out. I truly, truly appreciate it. It's huge for my channel. It means a lot, and this is a blast, dude. So lots of great tips and
Yeah,
tricks.
you're a great host. So
Thanks,
definitely,
man. That means a lot.
guys subscribe if you guys are a first time watcher. Definitely, subscribe. Cool host here. Great content.
Appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
so we ready for the question or?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh wait, there's a commercial. Should we wait for the commercial?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's wait for that to end. Yeah, it's almost done, I think.
Oh, how did this guy use that? Look, this emoji is funny. Harlem, when you gonna get back in the? Harlem, I think, was in the tank. When you gonna get back in, brother?
Get back in the tank, bro. What are you doing? Come on. But yeah, I always say, the stream is free to watch for everybody. But if you do enjoy the content that you are consuming, it means a lot and it supports me. If you subscribe,
Trixie.
and you also don't get the commercials.
Trixie, she broke my heart and my wallet. All right, guys. So here we go for the question.
Let's go.
All right, guys. So it's easy. It's kind of an easy, maybe if you know sharks, but for anyone that's not in the tank, all right, what is the fastest shark out there?
Go ahead.
Fastest shark in the ocean.
Fastest shark in the ocean. As fast as he can. Get to his Twitter. DM him. Send the answer in. Actually, I don't know that.
Butt shark. Love to rip. No. Oh, there we go. Charity Kitten got it. Mako.
Mako? Cherokee
Yep.
got it. Oh, okay. Awesome.
All right, brother. Yeah, just DM me on Twitter. I think the name's on
Yeah.
here, or it's out. You could also check it out on his Twitter, which I've retweeted, and definitely give him a follow on Twitter as well.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know the Mako. That's a fast damn shark. All right,
How
but
fast
yeah,
does it
Chair
go?
Kitty. So just message me, brother.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Chair Kitty. Damn. Okay. Would love that. Hey, Shark, it's me, Chair Kitty. Twitter DMs. No. So, Chair Kitty, he's actually a regular on the streams, one of my mods. His name on Twitter is also Chair Kitty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's an awesome guy. He's a great guy. 45
All right,
miles
well,
per hour?
We won't try to give him too many dusty sticks when he gets the name.
No, he definitely deserves the dusty sticks, though. Definitely hit him with those.
Well, we'll have to see. I guess I'm not the fastest Googler.
45 miles an hour, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you wouldn't think it. I mean, my favorite shark's the great white shark, but
Okay.
Mako definitely. Bull shark is pretty mean too. Bull shark,
Right.
they have the highest they have the highest testosterone. They're really aggressive,
Okay.
and it's actually interesting. Bull sharks they can survive in freshwater or saltwater, which is kind of
Oh,
interesting.
really?
They've
I
been
didn't know
found
that.
in rivers before. Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting.
See, I know random.
No, that's cool, man.
I know random bullshit about sharks. That's not just. Yeah, my shark name is just not a name; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Were you a marine biologist?
I used to want when I was 8 and I used to watch Jaws consistently. I used to want to be one. Yes.
Okay.
So that's I used to sharks. I
epic.
used to love sharks.
Hell yeah. So, do sharks will they actually come after you if you're in the water, or do you have to be bleeding,
Nah.
or are they pretty for the most part? They're
Yeah,
kinda
if you're
calm?
bleeding.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah. No, I didn't talk about PA pens. No, if you're bleeding, yeah, for sure. It's actually funny. I was random story, but I was actually swimming in Florida in Palm Beach, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we were swimming in the waves, and I remember somebody on the beach was like pointing to me, going something like this, like pointing
Oh,
and like
shit.
making all sorts of motions to me.
Right.
And me and my girlfriend were like, what is this person talking about? Like, what is their deal? Like, what are they trying to signal to us? We get out of the water, and then we look back, and literally, it was almost like one of those pictures you've seen on Google. The wave was cresting, and literally
Oh, no.
there was right where we were swimming, there was a shark. I don't know what kind of shark, but
Right.
there was a 6-foot shark right there where we were
Holy
swimming, and I
shit,
was
bro.
like, whoa. But normally, who knows what could have happened. Yeah, but that was my closest encounter.
Wow.
The thing is that they have these receptors on their snouts that are also can pick up electromagnetic waves that all humans or living things put off. So they have these extra sensors that can sense these waves besides their keen sense of smell. So yeah, they're
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Things in the
Anyway,
ocean
I
freak me out.
yeah. Well, I guess in Canada you guys don't go in the ocean.
No. We got a lake or a pond or a swimming pool only in the summer.
All right, guys. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to, bore you guys with the new
Yeah,
biology
you're
stuff.
good. You're good. Once again, thank you for coming on, bro. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot. I will let you go. Let's do this again, man. This is an awesome kind of education session. And we'll think of a part 2 soon, for sure.
Yeah, man. Great vibes. It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. Love the intro music. Love the glasses.
Thank
love the
you.
hair.
Yes, sir. And just
So thank you everybody for coming, and subscribe to. Well, I don't care if you guys can subscribe to me. Check out the room. Subscribe to this guy on Million, putting out great content.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And this video will be live on my Twitch channel under videos immediately after the stream. And it will be going live on YouTube in the coming days as well. All right. So, yeah, once again, thank you, sir, for coming on. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.
You're bull shark for all right, guys, take it easy.
Later. All right, guys. All right. Let me, oh, shit. I just realized. Hang on. There's going to be no camera. I got to switch it back. Give me a second here. But, yeah, that was SharkTrader. All right. Let me switch over to just chatting. Okay, so you guys are going to want to follow him out on Twitter, _ SharkTrader. Let me pull it up again. And this is where we're going to go to DM him and ask him about the tank, okay? So please go check it out. If you learned something today, if you're interested in something you heard and you want to hang out with all those guys who are cracking me up with all their funny jokes, this is the spot to be, okay? So please check them out, and let's bank on some options, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, with that, thank you for joining me tonight. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I love this community. Thank you for the subs today. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. All the follows today as well from the tank community. Welcome. Okay, the door's open. Please, we stream every day. If you're new to the stream, you're from the Shark Room. I saw Shaw Shark Redemption. I love that. Shaw Shark Redemption. I think that's so funny, dude. I'm going to open up the sound alerts again. I turned them all off so we couldn't do the John Cena. But, yeah, once again, this video will be going live right after the stream. I appreciate you guys. I love you. And we always end the stream on Jason by the Midnight. Woo! There you go. So if you want to listen to that song and vibe out, it's live now. And we'll see you tomorrow. I love and appreciate you guys. 100 out. Oh, yeah, SharkTrader, if you're still watching, I'm also a musician, okay? So let's put together some music, all right, about sharks. Thank you, Shark Delicious. Appreciate you. Welcome to the stream. You are legendary. Please feel free. This is your new, your home away from home. Listen, you get beat with that dusty stick, okay? You come in here to these guys. No dusty sticks in here. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. 100 out, mother.
Ooh,
keep on